Building a website has never been easier, but with so many options out there, it can be overwhelming to pick the right choice for you. In this video, I will show you the top tools I've used to build websites in the past 15 years. I will break down these platforms based on three key factors: ease of use, flexibility, and control. By the end of the video, you know exactly which platform fits your needs, so that you can level up your side project or build a website from scratch. So let's start with one of the easiest options I could find online: Cart. Cart.co is a very simple website builder. You can build one-page layouts for your side projects, landing pages, or making any announcements. All you need to do is pick a template, adjust the copy, drag and drop the content you want to have, and you're pretty much done. You can have a website up and running in maybe 30 minutes. And the best part, the Pro plan only costs $19 per year, which is kind of insane. That's why I always like to recommend cards for beginners who want to have a simple and minimal online page. And you don't need to know how to code to get a website up and running. Next up, we got Typetrim. Typetrim is more advanced than Cart, but still you don't need to know how to code. It's a very simple drag and drop editor, and trust me, I've used a lot of website builders out there, and this is one of the better ones. Typetrim offers a great balance between more customization without being too complex to use. So for example, the interface gives you the power to create very complex layouts for portfolios or side projects. I used Typetrim's interface to build the website I've designed in my last video. And as you can see, it just takes me a couple of minutes to get a very similar result in the website builder. They also have a great selection of templates, and it's a very great solution for anyone who wants to build great looking website without the need to code. The next option is something I came across recently. It's called bullet.so. It's a website where you can take a Notion template or a Notion page and turn it into a website. What I like about that is when you're already using Notion to organize your content, you can use it as well to build your own website. So how it works is you connect Bullet to Notion and you have a custom page for your website inside of Notion. You can adjust the content on Notion, adjust images, add more pages, and go over to Bullet and hit sync and publish. There are a couple of options to build a website out of Notion, but this one is pretty cool because you can add your custom code and custom styling. So it allows you to add stuff like a custom checkout, a custom form, or even a Calendly widget. Bullet is really a great option when you're already using Notion to organize your content. So if you're just getting started with website building or you want to get a side project up and running pretty fast, these are the best options I could find on the internet. They are very simple to use, you don't need to know how to code, and they also offer a great free option. Before we move on to the next section with the more advanced tools, here's something very important. It doesn't matter how great your website is, if your website is slow, you will lose visitors and potential customers. Picking the right hosting provider is very important for your site reliability, speed, and security. That's where the sponsor of today's video comes in, Cloudways. Cloudways is a powerful and easy to use managed hosting service. So whether you're building a simple site or fully fledged SaaS applications, Cloudways makes sure your website is always up to speed, secure, and scalable. It's a great choice for creators, developers, and businesses. So they handle all the server-side work like automatic backups, security, updates, and of course scalability. I've made a comparison between my current provider and Cloudways for my website, and it turns out Cloudways is like 10 times faster than my current provider, which is kind of crazy. If you need reliable, fast hosting with great performance, check out the link in the description to learn more about Cloudways. Alright, let's move on to the next section. So now we are moving on to the more advanced tools. You don't need to know how to code to use them, but with a little bit knowledge about coding, you can get amazing results with these platforms. Let's start with Webflow. Webflow is a platform I, as a front-end developer, love to use. They have a great drag and drop editor. You don't need to know how to code to get an amazing looking website out of it, but when you know how to code, you can customize the layout as you wish. Webflow is a powerful choice since they have a great drag and drop editor, but on top of that they also have a built-in code editor, which gives you a ton of control over your website. But the best thing about Webflow is the selection of templates you have on the platform. I mean, check them out, they look like startup with millions of funding or award-winning websites. I'm a front-end developer and it will take me a couple of days or even weeks to build something similar. And you can get access to it for just $80, which I think is one of the craziest return of money you can have. So instead of planning, designing and implementing the whole website, which would take me weeks, I can have access to this in just a couple of minutes. And this is kind of insane. That's why I love to use Webflow, and I think they have the best option when it comes to templates. Next up, we got WordPress. WordPress is kind of a monster. They run like 40% of all websites online, which is also crazy to think of. But there's also a good reason for that. You don't need to know how to code to use WordPress, but when you know how to code, you can kind of go crazy with it. To give you a reference, when I was working in an agency, we used WordPress to build websites for our clients. We took a design and broke it down into modular sections. And what that means was clients could use WordPress to build custom landing pages with the modules we have created for them in their own style. So they could build a landing page, an announcement page or whatever in their style inside of WordPress, which is very, very powerful. This is a very advanced use case of WordPress, and yes, you need to know how to code, but the flexibility and control you get out of it is pretty amazing. And this feature alone makes WordPress for me the best website builder out there. But on top of that, you have like thousands of plugins you can add on top of WordPress to make it do whatever you want it to do. You can add plugins to improve SEO, add contact forms or Google Maps, or pretty much anything you can think of that you can build online. And the best part, you don't need to know how to code to use WordPress. But if you want to dive deeper, there are a ton of tutorials out there online. Or you can hire an agency once your business is growing. These platforms are a great choice for mid-level users who want to have more control over their website but don't need to know how to code. But if you are a developer or you want to have more control over your website, these are the 3 best options I got for you. For this video, I've actually checked out a lot of AI website builders. And to be honest, they all still kind of suck. You get a website in like a couple of minutes, but the content in there, the images used are at best case mediocre. I still would update all of that. The sections are kind of wrong, so even though I have a website in a couple of seconds, I can't really use it. That's why no AI website builder is in the list for today's video. But I got 2 AI platforms that I really like to use. The first option is ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT daily to improve my code, write new features or fix bugs. I think it's a great option when you already have something built. But if you're starting a new project or starting from scratch, I can highly recommend V0. V0 is also a chat-based interface where you can throw in prompts and even images to build something out of it. So in this example, I took the design I did for my last video and took a bunch of screenshots and pasted into the chat. I wanted to see how well it can replicate what I have here in my design. And as you can see, it's building the website in real time and it's giving me a preview how it is looking right now. And the cool thing is it's a chat, so you can interact with it and say like, hey, the margins are off, the padding are off, images are missing, try to fix this. And the result is pretty good, as you can see. So yeah, it's not perfect out of the box, but you can use this as a base to work on top of it. I think it's pretty great to have a solid foundation which you can use to build upon. So yeah, you can use V0 to speed up development of web apps, websites, or any user interface. It can save a ton of time writing boring code while you can focus on the bigger problems. Next is Tailwind UI components. I have a love-hate relationship with Tailwind CSS, but the component library is pretty amazing and very flexible. The library offers a great selection of ready-made components, and they also have a cool selection of actually ready-made websites. They have pretty much anything you need to build the landing page for your site project. A hero section, a pricing section, or even a newsletter section. So you got pre-built components, modules, and even entire websites made with the component library. And since you have access to the code, you can tweak and adjust every aspect of it to fit your style. So instead of spending hours to build something from scratch, you can use Tailwind UI components to have a clean starting point for your next project. I have used the UI components to build a website for a client, and it saved me a massive amount of time. I think I did the project in like 3 days instead of a couple of weeks. So if you're building a landing page, side project, or client work, Tailwind UI components are a pretty great choice for that. And finally, over the years, I have built my own boilerplate to build side projects as fast as possible. It's a full setup from my blueprint for websites to authentication, database management, payments, and even analytics. There are also a lot of boilerplates you can buy online, and I think it's pretty cool that you can do that. Building a successful side project can take 5, 10, or even 20 attempts to get it right. Having a boilerplate is pretty handy to build and validate ideas as fast as possible. So we have covered a huge range from beginner-friendly tools to your custom boilerplate just to build side projects as fast as possible. Picking the right option for your website is very important, but even with the right tools, you still need to know what to put on your website to make sales. Your website needs to tell a story, and if you don't know how, or you don't know what I'm talking about, you should check out this video. That's it from my side. See you in the next one. Bye.